to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku and Animation News Network with...
Krellica Kane, the most important person in his world.
That's pretty egotistical to think that.
Technically I am, because if not for me, you wouldn't be able to have your toy room, all of your toys, go to Power Morphicon, eat the food that you want. Because you are aware that I am the breadwinner.
Okay, so?
So we live in a very modern relationship.
Cool. Alright, so we are back with another Kaiju no Kami versus AI. Today's episode deals with Power Rangers.
Yes.
What are we doing with Power Rangers?
Well, we're going to talk about the best of the Power Rangers series. So, what would you call this?
Power Rangers...
Pandemonium?
We'll go with that.
Okay, see? I can contribute too.
Alright, so what do we have?
Well, first, this episode is brought to you by Aliens, the Golden Book Children's Edition.
Don't you mean A is for alien?
A is for Alien, yes. A is for Alien, an ABC book by the Little Golden Book that talks about the ABCs of the Alien movie without talking about people technically dying. But they disappear as you move towards the end, making you wonder, where did the other people go?
And if you work for Little Golden Book, you need to give us some money for promoting you.
This company has been around for generations. I doubt they need our sponsorship. I just find the books ridiculous. All right, so reading what AI has put here, the Power Rangers franchise has had a diverse range of series since its debut in 1993. I was in 8th grade.
I was going into 6th.
Some series are particularly beloved for their unique storylines, characters, and impact on the franchise. Here are some of the best Power Rangers series noted for their quality and fan reception. Number 1. Number 1 doesn't have a synopsis. It just says what's the impact of it. Number 1 is the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 1993 to 95. Wow, I was in 8th, 9th, and 10th grade when that happened. Halfway through high school. And all it says...
I was in 8th grade when they were going into Zeo.
I don't even remember Zeo. I don't even know what series Zeo is based on. So, fun fact you may have heard before. I've only watched snippets of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I never watched the entirety. And then the few subsequent series I've actually watched in its entirety when he's forced them upon me.
Well, we watched Jungle Fury, RPM, In Space.
Which doesn't make sense.
Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury.
Well, did we watch Cosmic? Oh, yes, we did. Dino Thunder, I think, right? Or was it different?
Well, you did watch Dino Thunder when it was on TV, because I watched it.
Okay, I think that's what I'm referencing. So, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the impact, the original series that started it all. Technically, I disagree because Super Sentai started it all, but
Power Rangers started in America.
It introduced the iconic team of Rangers and their nemesis, Rita Repulsa. It remains highly influential and nostalgic for many fans. As I already admitted, I didn't watch all of it, mainly because I was kind of turned off by it, because none of them were teenagers with attitudes. And they promised me teenagers with attitudes, and my school life did not have any of those types of characters with attitudes. They were too white bread for me.
And are you sure it's because you had an attitude, so you didn't think other people had an attitude?
No, it's because when I'm expecting people to have attitudes, I'm expecting them to have attitudes like the school I went to. Because the school I went to was 5 through 8. So I ate lunch with all the high schoolers, and all the high schoolers in my school definitely had attitudes.
But if it was 5 through 8, why were you...
5 through 12, I mean.
I'm like, wait a minute, 5 through 8?
So do you agree with this being numero uno?
Well, I don't say... I mean, yeah, it is impactful. So there is no denying that. The problem is that's all the companies tend to focus on is Mighty Morphin because they only care about the nostalgia aspects. And so I love Mighty Morphin, but at the same time, I'm sick of Mighty Morphin being the only series to really get exposure. But obviously, if you're going to do a best of list, Mighty Morphin's going to end up being on there.
Do you want to know what numero 2 is?
I have a choice?
No.
Okay.
Number 2, Power Rangers SPD, which I think was Deca Ranger? Mm-hmm. Maybe you should take that and do like a short of Power Rangers SPD. I think it's the series. Just so you can have shorts, but... It's set in the future where Earth is part of an intergalactic police force. This series features a team of special patrol Delta officers fighting against evil threats. So, I will admit, and I'm going to exclude Mighty Morphin because I don't feel like outside of when they did the Jude Ranger stuff, that it kind of fits some of the elements of Jude Ranger. SPD, just from everything of the few episodes I've seen of it, and then other stuff, it kind of sounds similar to what I watch of Deca Ranger. But why it's noted, praised for its strong character development, engaging storylines, and the mature themes that set it apart from from earlier series. Do you agree with its placement?
Well, SPD is my favorite Power Rangers series, so yes.
Now, didn't they reverse import this series?
In Japan, and had the Japanese actors voice the Power Rangers equivalent. Yes.
It is kind of hilarious because I don't know if they reverse imported any of the others.
They have other series, but
this seemed like the most popular.
But yes, the SPD, it does have a lot of darker, more mature themes to it. The Blue Ranger's father was a previous Red Ranger and had died in the line of duty. So he wanted to be the Red Ranger and got mad when oh god, I can't think.
It's not Bon.
No, I'm trying to think now. Sky was green.
Why
oh well.
would Sky be green? Because Sky should be blue.
Or no. Sky, yeah, Sky's blue.
Well,
Bridge is green.
Well, yes, the sky is blue, hubby.
No. Now I can't even think of all the
well,
okay, but so there was that aspect. They actually had a main villain, even though he looked like a disco reject of Skeletor.
Wait, they had a main villain in this series,
mm-hmm.
and Deca Ranger did not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Emperor Grom, who was missing one of his horns because Doggy Kruger had sliced it off.
Now, okay. Being that you've watched Deca Ranger and SPD, which of the two do you actually prefer?
I think I'm going to give the edge to SPD, but there are some episodes that Deca Ranger has that SPD just doesn't compare with.
Okay.
Because the episode from Deca Ranger Perfect Blue, which is a very noir-y type episode, mm-hmm. is like better than everything Deca Ranger and SPD combined. But overall, as the show's plots, SPD is the better show. SPD also had this interesting plot of they were the B Squad team. The Alpha Squad went into battle in the first episode and just disappeared. So they had to have the Beta Squad be the ones for the series, and then towards the end, the Alpha Squad is found.
Isn't that like Hurricaneger, where it was the dregs of the school who ended up becoming the heroes?
In a way.
That's one of the reasons why I love
Which is interesting, because SPD took a bunch of ideas from other shows, because Grum's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the show, gets an adult form. Kind of like Rige in Outer Ranger.
Okay. So it's interesting. So number 3. Power Rangers. Well, all of them are going to say Power Rangers. So should I keep on saying Power Rangers?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. Time Force from 2001. And SPD was 2005. So, synopsis. Rangers from the future travel back in time to stop a criminal from altering history. Why it's known as one of the best. Known for its compelling narrative, well-developed characters, and a more serialized approach compared to earlier series. Now, this one, I think it's pretty clear what Sentai it is. But to confirm, Power Rangers Time Force is Time Ranger.
No, it's... Yes.
I was waiting for you like, what? What is it? Because it's kind of on the nose.
But yes, it wasn't bad. It had some good stuff. There was... I think you watched the episode with me with the movie two-parter when they're actually doing a full movie set and they've got like a Mad Max thing going on because the villain was in Mad Max 2, so they were kind of recreating the Mad Max scene.
Wait, the actual villain
from Time Force.
Like the human?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The Time Force original villain was, I want to say in Mad Max 2, it's the guy with the mohawk.
Oh, wow, he had to be hella old.
He is older, yeah. So, and they did try to touch on it because instead of being aliens, they made them mutants. So they tried to touch on this whole racist thing that the reason that the mutants became criminals in the future is because of racism.
Okay. That's different.
And
that's kind of mature for a Power Rangers series.
They did that early in the series, and then they kind of just didn't really talk about it after that for the rest of the series. Did
they at least make an impact with it in the part that they did where it could kind of teeter off?
That's kind of what was the reason the villains were the villains. There were aspects that they did copy right out of Time Ranger, such as Time Fire and
the Red Ranger.
The whole plot line with the Red Ranger's father being in charge of the government organization that's doing the government.
Now, was the Red in Time Force from the current time, like Time Fire? So the both Reds, in a way, were current era, and then everyone else. Now, was this similar where Pink was the leader?
Yes.
Oh, so they knowingly in America made a different color Ranger more of the leader?
Yes, she was still the leader just like in Time Ranger.
Because I've noticed that in America they've been holding pretty firm. Because even with Cosmic Fury, they gave her the red outfit to show leadership when it's like, does it really matter what color they wear?
But yeah, they had Time Force Pink was the leader of the Rangers regardless.
And I've never seen Time Force either. You've tried to get me to watch it so many times.
Which Time Ranger?
Time Ranger. I've never seen Time Force, but Time Ranger. And something else has kind of come into its place.
Yep, so after we finish Ginga Man with Silver Quill, we're going to do Time Ranger.
Well, I know a lot about Time Fire, mainly because of Geets. Because every time the motherfucker showed up on screen, don't look for it. We don't need it anymore. I'm moving on to the next series.
Nope. Now that you've opened that can of worms, you just gotta wait probably about 30 seconds. Or,
with 2 ads. Can I move on now?
Okay, we can move on now.
Okay. So I think I've watched this one. The next one is from 2003, Ninja Storm. This is based on Hurricaneer?
Yes.
With a big question mark?
Yes, it's Hurricaneer.
Because didn't this have... Because Hurricaneer also had a rat.
Yeah, they turned the sensei into a hamster.
And in this one...
He was a hamster as well.
Oh yeah, and this one had like a granny in it too, right?
No, Hurricaneger had the daughter was older.
Yes.
This one had the 20-ish year old son.
Who was Shrookinger.
Yes.
Okay, but Ninja Storm, 3 ninjas from different backgrounds become rangers to fight an evil ninja clan. And why it's nude is it's enjoyed for its fun, lighthearted tone and inventive ninja-themed elements. It's also recognized for its humor and well-choreographed action. Do you agree with that? Because you're not a huge fan of Hurricaneger either.
I like Hurricaneger, but it's not the greatest. Ninja Storm, it's okay. It's not the greatest. But no, there's a few problems with Ninja Storm. One, it has a horrible American-made villain.
Oh, yes.
Lothar, the luchador looking kid.
Which I never understood. I was like, we had Lothar and Voltron. Did we need another
That was
Lothar?
Lothar.
Whatever. It's still similar.
Then there seemed to be an issue with the mics a lot in this show. Like, the mics always sounded like, I don't know, like they had too much feedback on them when they were recording, because there's like this hiss going on.
Which you're probably hearing from my fan, but get over it.
Oh shit. I didn't even know earliest the fan was on.
Because it's blowing directly on me.
Well, that blows. But, yeah, so there were issues with Ninja Storm, but I could see why they would put it on the list. It was also Disney's first Power Ranger series.
So Saban still was in charge with Time Force?
They were in charge of Time Force and most of Wild Force. Because they sold the company Disney when they were in the middle of production of Wild Force.
Okay. So.
And that's when Disney made the decision to move production to New Zealand.
Because it's cheaper? Mm-hmm. Well, and you have a lot more greenery and things like that. And you could probably record year-round versus even in Studio City. It's hard because you're competing with all the other productions going on at the same time. And Studio City is in California, just for anyone who's unaware, I mean. So number 5. This is one of the series I saw that made me confused. I'm going to read, and it makes me confused even when I'm reading this. Dino Thunder from 2004. A team of rangers gains power based on dinosaurs to battle an ancient evil. Why it's noted. Praised for its engaging storyline, the return of the popular Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and its balance of humor and action. That's what it says. The return of the popular Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin. I thought he was green and every other color but red.
And he was red in Zeo and Turbo.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Tommy was red in Zeo and Turbo?
Mm-hmm.
I thought somebody else took over red.
Well, TJ took over halfway through Turbo.
Oh, okay.
But Tommy was red in Zeo and Turbo.
But he was not red in Mighty Morphin.
No, he wasn't. So whoever wrote that is a moron.
It's AI who wrote that.
Whichever AI wrote that is a moron. But... yeah, because...
okay, so I'm going to ask a question. Dino Thunder. Abba Ranger?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought, because they only had 4 Rangers.
But, remember, they also made Trent, the White Ranger, a good guy.
Oh, yeah, they did make Abba Ray Killer a good guy.
Because he was under an evil spell, but then to account for the scenes later when he was back on the bad guy's side, they had him split with a evil clone version.
Oh, yeah.
But I also don't get what they mean by evil, or an ancient evil, because Mesogog was not an ancient evil.
He was from a different world, right?
No.
Oh.
He was just a guy, he was the scientist that worked with Tommy, and then had infected himself with dinosaur DNA that turned him into Mesogog. There was I don't understand the ancient evil.
Because ancient evil is Abba Ranger.
No, not even Abba Ranger. Ancient evil would imply more of
Rita?
Like Rita, because they were from thousands of years ago.
Well, 10,000 years ago, from what she says in the beginning, right?
Obviously.
Okay.
So their description is crap.
But do you agree with Dino Thunder?
Oh, Dino Thunder was a good show.
I enjoyed Dino Thunder, but it was honestly it was nothing compared to Abba Ranger.
No.
But all right, number 6. The one series I've seen in Japan. Well, actually, I've seen most of these in Japanese, so I can't even say.
I was gonna say.
But this one is kind of on the nose too, because we've talked about it before. Samurai from 2011. A new team of Rangers. Duh. Gains powers based on dinosaur... Wait, no, wrong one. Gains samurai powers to protect the world from ancient evil forces.
Again, with the ancient evil.
But, okay.
At least this time, they actually were ancient evil.
Why it's noted. Appreciated for its return to the franchise's roots with its samurai themes and more serious tone. I question that after. The series also boasts impressive special effects. So let's talk about this one. Because the only person I think that returned from this was Bulk.
Uh-huh.
Because Skull was dead?
No. Skull showed up in the last episode to collect his son.
But he's like super rich, right?
Yes.
Because he married Kimberly? He had a crush on Kimberly. So, in my fan theory, him and Kimberly got together.
I don't remember.
I don't believe so. I have never actually seen Samurai, but I believe Samurai, based on the theme, is Shikinger.
Yes.
And I believe that this didn't do well in America. Or did it do well?
It didn't do well in America because
That's why I'm confused it's on the list.
They pretty much copied... It really was almost one-to-one with Shikinger.
Really?
They just made some changes, like Dayu and Juzo's characters were actually lovers when they were before they became demons.
But they didn't like each other in the past, if I remember.
No, they did.
Dayu
and Juzo.
Were they lovers in?
Not in Shikinger.
Okay, that's what I
thought. In Power Rangers, they were lovers in the past, and they got cursed. I forget exactly the details on. One was cursed thinking the other was dead, and the other got cursed wanting to avenge the one they thought was dead or something like that. And...
Did it have more serious tones for Samurai?
Well, it really was just Shikinger.
Which Shikinger had some serious tone.
It didn't make sense at times because they had the Kagemusha storyline in there.
I was going to ask about that.
Which didn't make sense because it just doesn't work.
Well, okay, here's a question. Do you think American audiences, even anime fans, can understand a Kagemusha when it's never been prevalent in any media?
If it's explained properly, yes. But they didn't explain it properly here. But also, I think the other issue is because Shikinger was like the first series that was really when Sentai was becoming easier to download and fan subbed in America. Mm-hmm. Everyone had watched it, so by the time Samurai came out, people were since they had already seen Shikinger, because the other thing is Time Force and Wild Force did a lot of aspects that were one-to-one as well. But I think it was because this one also was the first time people had actually watched the Japanese version first, then saw the Power Rangers one. It bothered them more.
Okay, that's fair. But do you think outside...
I don't think it would make my top 10 list, but I don't think it was a bad show.
Well, do you think for fans that have never seen Shikinger, just regular kids...
It would probably be good.
Okay.
It was also more of a back to basics because they got rid of because the one thing with the Disney era is every Ranger had to have a superpower in some form.
Oh, I remember seeing that because it didn't make sense.
Yeah, didn't make sense at all.
So, number 7. This is a series that we started but never fully watched. Beast Morphers.
Oh yeah, we watched the first 2-3 episodes?
I think so. Just to make sure, Power Rangers Beast Morphers is Go Busters.
Mm-hmm. It's Morphin time!
Which, okay, Go Busters was a tribute to Power Rangers. So what we have here is Rangers use animal-based powers to combat an evil computer, which if you read it literally like that, it makes no sense. Because how can animals defeat a computer without just knocking it over? Why it's noted?
I don't know. I mean, freaking Cat took out an entire mech.
And one of the most powerful mechs in the series.
But anyway.
But why it's noted is for its modern, tech-savvy themes, strong character development, and high production values. It also connects well with the franchise's previous series through its storylines. So let's unpack this. Because I watched Go Busters. I know when you watched it a second time, you appreciated it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But when I watched Go Busters, it was kind of comedic with how many times they threw away sunglasses. I worried for, like, if those were Ray-Bans, I would have beaten a bitch for it. But we haven't seen Beast Morphers, but do you know enough about Beast Morphers where you can comment if this is a worthy...
I can't, because I only know one thing in Beast Morphers that was spoiled, but... Well, I know Gavin shows up.
Gavin?
Yeah, because of the Gavin crossover from...
But there's no Gavin in America.
Well, he appears.
Because I don't even think Gavin was in the Beetle... VR Troopers, right?
No.
Okay.
But, yeah, so Gavin shows up...
Do they call him Gavin?
I don't know what they call him. I think they call him... I think people said they do call him Space Sheriff, but I don't know if they actually give him a name or not. I do know that it's connected with RPM.
Okay.
And... Actually, that's all I know right now.
Okay. Well, speaking of RPM, that is number 8.
Oh, good.
From 2009. So it's kind of funny when you said that because RPM was 10 years prior to Beast Morphers. So, synopsis.
Holy shit, was it really?
Mm-hmm. It aired, Beast Morphers was 2019, RPM was 2009.
Oh my god, yeah, because you had no Power Rangers in 2010. And then they started doing them in the 2-season format. So Samurai was 11-12.
It just says 11 here.
I know, but that's the premiere date.
Yes. But can I read to you what it says? So, I also will ask first, just to clarify before I read anything. RPM is Go Under? Mm-hmm. Okay. I have to ask that because everything I'm going to read right now is nothing like the few episodes of Go Under I've seen or your review of Go Under. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where the last remnants of humanity fight against an evil computer virus. Why it's noted, recognized for its darker, more mature themes and a well-crafted story that stands out from the typical Power Rangers formula. So after he got this gigantic head thing, you had given us about 2 series to watch. You'd given us Jungle Fury and then RPM. Mm-hmm. And when I...
Oh, you're talking about the
giant
the seasons
head.
1 through 20
Yes.
package.
Your giant head. When you got head...
Well, really we watched...
It was the Red Ranger head.
Really we watched Jungle Fury because we had just watched Geki Ranger.
Yes.
And then I figured, since we just did Jungle Fury, why don't we watch RPM finally?
So, when we got to the first episode of RPM, and you had seen some RPM, I think.
No.
Oh, so you had no idea of it either?
Only from Linkara stuff.
Oh yeah, Linkara, but when we started watching RPM, and knowing what Go Under was with the bright and cheeriness, with the talkie cars that never fucking shut up. And then seeing this world of hell from like Mad Max, I was like, wait, this is Power Rangers? And it stuck to the dark as fuck theme. Like, it didn't... I was actually surprised from where it started to where it ended for this. It stayed dark the entire time. It was like from Batman. But, okay, getting your versus comment. Do you appreciate, one, it being on a top 10 list?
Oh, yeah.
But do you appreciate it being on the back half of the top 10?
I think it would be more, it belongs much closer to the top.
And what did you think about it, having watched Go Onger? And we've all should have watched his review by now, so we know how you feel about Go Onger. How do you feel about RPM?
I loved RPM. I thought it was very well told, very, yes, it was darker, it was more mature, but also it had a good story to go with it. Character development was fantastic. I mean, you had a character that was a former member of a mafia, basically. That was really well done.
We'll meet, hopefully.
Maybe, because he was just announced for Power Morphicon.
Yeah, I thought you told me.
We had the girl from iZombie.
Yes, which hearing her talk as a Kiwi in iZombie, but having... Oh, wait, no, she had her accent in one show.
She had an accent?
Okay, I forget. He doesn't hear accents. It makes me jealous. But, when we saw the commercial breaks and you hear her natural voice versus her American voice.
Oh, for iZombie.
Yes. Because I saw iZombie before I saw RPM. Yeah. So, you're like, yeah, that's the girl from iZombie. And I'm like, wait, what? It's like, okay, I see it, but it was a horror show. But anyways, so you liked RPM?
Oh, RPM was great. I loved when they were asking Dr. K the whole, what's with this, why are there always explosions appearing every time we transform, and why do our mechs have anime googly eyes, and
oh yeah,
and why are the suits made of spandex? They're not spandex.
Weren't they spandex?
Well, obviously, but no, they were some other material that she made.
It was kind of funny because they did do tongue-in-cheek humor against the original, which I think, in your opinion, made you happy. Mm-hmm. So number 9. I have misgivings about the original series too because it looks kind of lame. Wild Force from 2003. Rangers with animal-based powers, again, protect the Earth from an evil force threatening nature. So, I think this is Gao Ranger for Wild Force, correct? Mm-hmm. Because I've seen episodes of Gao Ranger. I don't know if I've seen it from start to finish, but I
thought I showed you the whole series.
Maybe I did, but I don't think I liked it.
No, this was back, because that was back when we were first watching Toku for the first time.
Yes.
We were watching Gao Ranger and Ryuki.
And yeah, I liked Ryuki significantly more than Gao Ranger. Gao Ranger, like, oh my god, I just hated it.
But Gao Ranger is what kickstarted this whole Toku.
Because he loved it. When we first watched it, you're like, oh my god, I gotta watch more. And then it wasn't until you watched Time Ranger where you're like, I'm all in! I really feel like Time Ranger.
No.
I still believe Time Ranger.
I didn't watch Time Ranger for like several years.
I thought you did, but nevertheless.
No, it was, I got Jew Ranger and Die Ranger next.
Yeah.
Die Ranger was it.
Oh yeah.
Die Ranger was the selling point.
Okay, but moving on. I'm just gonna ignore it now. What, did you watch Wild Force?
Yeah, I watched it on DVD a few years ago.
What did you think of Wild Force? I need you to review these Power Ranger series.
Wild Force was wildly boring. I had to force myself to watch it.
Do you think it should be on the top 10 list?
No.
Should I move on?
But there is only one significance, I will say, because basically Wild Force was American Gao Ranger with bootleg Gorma Emperor. Because the American created villain wore the Gorma Emperor clothes from Die Ranger.
Seriously?
Yeah, he wore the Gorma clothing that Shaddam wore at the end of Die Ranger. And because they had him be the Master Org, and what it was is he was a scientist who worked with the Red Ranger's parents, and then he killed the parents and tried to kill but wasn't able to kill the Red Ranger when he was a baby. So he left the Red Ranger in the forest to live on its own, expecting that he would die.
Now, here's a question. Which do you think was better? Wild Force or Captain Planet?
Wild Force.
For anybody who's never heard of or seen Captain Planet, I'm really jealous.
Captain Planet!
Because I feel like that was the first Sentai-esque show. With this power, we all call upon... Because it was 5 kids.
With your powers combined, I am Captain
You
Planet!
created a hero! It's Sentai! Terrible Sentai, but Sentai. Do you want to know what number 10 is?
Why do you keep asking me when the answer's going to be, it doesn't matter what I say?
Because I wanted you to pretend. Alright, fine. It's from the 90s.
It better be SPD. Or, not SPD.
SPD?
It better be Lightspeed Rescue.
Turbo. A new team of Rangers.
Wait. Turbo?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask this.
Hold on a minute. There is Power Rangers in space, and in some ways I could understand if Lost Galaxy was on the list, but Turbo?
So, Turbo, 97.
What?
Is Turbo Mega Ranger?
No, Turbo's Car Ranger.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so O Ranger is Zeo.
Mm-hmm.
Car Ranger is Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Then Mega Ranger, which is in space.
Which makes no sense! They were never in space!
Okay, but...
And Lost Galaxy! They were human! Alright, let me read all of this. A new team of Rangers. Well, technically this is finally a new team of Rangers, correct?
Well, halfway through the show.
Well, okay, so Turbo started with the Rangers from Zeo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turbo started with Kat, Tommy, not Aisha, Tanya, Adam, Rocky gets his neck injured, so he can't, so Justin takes over.
The little kid?
Yeah. But those 4 don't get replaced until halfway through the series. Because when they get replaced by TJ, Carlos, Ashley, and Cassie.
Well, you know way too much about the lore. But anyways, a new team of Rangers, starting, who use turbo-powered vehicles, takes on a new set of villains.
Which didn't make sense.
Let me, okay, no. Space doesn't make sense because Mega Ranger never appeared in space. Lost Galaxy doesn't make sense because it's an Earth-based show. And I've just started watching the damn show because it's Gingaman.
Mm-hmm.
And space is Mega Ranger. But why it's noted, while it's often overshadowed by its predecessor, Turbo is noted for its connection to Mighty Morphin and for introducing Turbo Rangers. That's the only impact it has. Literally.
Okay, well, one, it has no connection to Mighty Morphin because there's nothing in there that connects to Mighty Morphin.
Well, the characters.
The only scene that connects to Mighty Morphin is with Rita and Zed in the movie when Rita says, "We've quit, bye," and hangs up on Diva Talks.
Oh, wait. Okay. That lame-ass movie that you watched. Because I don't think I've seen the Turbo movie.
No.
I've seen the other crappy-ass Power Rangers movie from the 90s.
Which is the good one.
Yeah, let's not talk.
Good by Power Ranger standards.
Okay.
But
it really says it's only noted because of its connect. Well, if you have the 5 core team members, one of which has been there pretty much since the beginning. Isn't that a connection to the Mighty Morphin?
No, because Tommy's the only original team member left.
That's what I mean.
But no, because when they're saying it relates to Mighty Morphin, they're making it sound like there's all these connections to Mighty Morphin when there is not a single connection. It would connect more to Zeo because they go from Zeo power to car power, which doesn't make sense because why would you go from the biggest crystal, the most powerful crystal in the universe, to a rinky-dinky car power and then just ignore the Zeo power? Because the Zeo power just disappears, never talked about again. It made no goddamn sense.
Doesn't it have Zordon or Alpha?
For half the series. Actually, no. For 3 episodes. Because Zordon and Alpha 5 leave. And then Alpha 6 and Delphina come in to take their place.
Okay, moving on.
And then Delphina, they talk...
on?
Wait, no.
Moving
And
on. Then
there's this little plot. Delphina says that her sister was kidnapped when they were kids, so she never met her sister again. Divatox has a dream that she might have been kidnapped as a kid, and then that's all you ever hear about that plotline again. Or you never hear about that plotline after that. There is no connection to that. That goes nowhere. And then you have the Blue Centurion who comes from the future from 1999 that says, I've been sent here to give you a warning of something that's going to happen in 1999.
yeah, it's called Y2K.
But no, it is supposed to, I guess, allude to in space, but in space takes place before that.
Okay. As we have just concluded this 10.
But then, hold on.
I don't want to hear about the entire series!
The only good thing in Turbo was actually the finale because you get to watch Divatox's Piranhatrons attack the command chamber and go and bust through it FBI style, as if they were doing a raid on a black person's house.
That's super racist.
I know it is. That's the point, though. That they do go through this entire command center like it's somebody's house. Because they drop the ropes and climb down the ropes. They're smashing things.
Okay, so moving on.
So that is Power Rangers Turbo. It sucks.
Breathing. Excluding your anger on Turbo, we're going to just take that off the top. For the remaining 9, what do you think?
No, they didn't have some space on there. They didn't have Lightspeed Rescue in there. Those 2 should have been on there.
Lightspeed Rescue is...
Go.
Oh, Go 5?
5. Yes.
Were they family members in Lightspeed?
Nope.
But that defies the point of why...
They weren't family members in Mystic Force either.
They weren't?
No. It's Power Rangers. They can't have them be family members because then they can't be diverse.
They can be adopted.
But they can't be an actual family because it'd be diverse because they can't have it be all white.
Power Rangers was the most racist fucking show out there.
No, it was the most diverse show out there.
With the Yellow Ranger being of Asian descent, with the Black Ranger being African American, and with the Red Ranger being Indian. Because he was part Native American.
No, he wasn't. That was Tommy that was part Native American.
Oh.
But
okay, so he's
no.
Green Ranger.
I got second place in a diversity contest for reference using Power Rangers as my basis.
Really?
Yeah. At my dad's work, they were doing a contest where you make a poster dealing with diversity. So I did Power Rangers as my poster, and I won second place.
Who won first place?
I don't remember. Not me.
Probably something more diverse.
But
okay, so with this level of anger, I think I'm actually going to skip the worst Power Rangers series?
No, we'll do that because this is perfect to lead into Power Morphicon.
Okay.
So, we'll be back with the worst episodes Click
No, the worst series.
worst series, yeah.
I am a little afraid. I don't want to do the worst series
Click
anymore.
like, subscribe,
No,
the
no,
bell
we're not
notification.
doing the worst series anymore.
Whatever else YouTube guys are
No,
clicking
we
for
can't
us.
do the worst series because I don't want to do the Power Rangers worst series only because it's going to be pretty dangerous.
You can support us on Twitter at tokuaan network and Patreon at tokuaan network, and then Discord, Facebook, Instagram is at Kaiju no Kami. And then the website is creativitybydesignllc.com. You can buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. There's a link in the description below. And until next time, tell us what your favorite Power Ranger series are. Bye!